Welcome in once again to David Klaus, America's favorite 13-year-old. Live from Jacksonville. Good morning, David.
Good morning.
Let's get an update on algebra, buddy. How's it going?
It's going pretty well, actually.
Oh, nice.
Hey.
You turned a corner. What'd you do?
I just had to put more time into it.
All right. Do you like it at all?
No, still no. But
Okay.
it's going better.
You'll like it when it's over, but you've made progress.
Yes.
Any chance you'll be a mathematician when you grow up?
No.
Oh,
Not at all.
almost didn't get that question out. It's a crazy time in the NFL, but quick college football question, because we're not going to talk before this happens. Who you got, Michigan or Washington, for the college championship?
Washington all the way. I really like their quarterback, and I think they're a very well-built team.
I think you're right about that. This is the way it's supposed to be. Undefeateds 1 and 2 going at each other for the title. You can get a cheaper ticket for that game. And David, you're closer than we are. The game's in Houston. You can just zip over there, grab mom's car,
Bring your girlfriend.
and or the wife, and enjoy the game. The tickets dropped $1,500 a seat for the best seats after Alabama got knocked out. And who did Washington beat? Oh, Florida.
Oh, did Washington?
Texas.
Or
Oh,
Texas.
Texas.
That's right. Yeah, like you said. Texas. Well, Texas, I mean, Texas. Houston, generally speaking, Houston is in Texas. So a lot of Texas folks wouldn't be going to the game. So anyway, there's room, there's seats. That's my point. And I'm glad to hear you say Washington. I think you're right. I think they got a chance for sure. Big game in Lambeau. Packers, Bears. Bears could ruin the Packers season. Will it happen?
I think the Packers just have more to fight for here.
Yeah,
and
they
I know the Bears want to end the season strong. They want to prove that they can stay in Chicago. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I think the Packers have it going for them. I have them winning 28-20.
Your Jacksonville Jaguars have been one of the weirdest stories all year because the Jags have, they started out super hot, then they got super not hot. Mm-hmm. So who are they? Who are these Jags?
Recently, at the Panthers game, they showed they could play. And I know the Panthers are the worst team in football right now.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a big morale lifter because they didn't even have Lawrence on the field. And they won. They shut the Panthers out. They won 26-0. So I think all they have to do is beat the Titans to get into the playoffs, and I think they will. 30-10.
Wow.
Ooh.
All right. So before I bring Aunt Jane in here, the big one, of course, is Sunday night. It's the Bills and the Dolphins. The Dolphins just got shellacked by the Ravens. Now it's supposed to be a nip-and-tuck game. And the Bills win this. Bills weren't going to be in the playoffs. Bills win this. They did what they had to do. They ran the table, and they could end up being the number 2 seed. I mean, look, man, I run the danger of being a homer here because I'm a Bills guy. Mm-hmm. So I think the Bills are going to win this game. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think you're wrong. I think Bills win this game because of the Dolphins' loss last week, so low morale, and they don't have some of their starters. Some of their starters may not play. There have been some injuries for the Dolphins, so that's something. And the Bills are coming off 4 straight wins, so they have a full head of steam. I think they win 32-24.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
okay.
Well, that's a cool story. I'd love to see that happen. Aunt Jane.
It's going to be very stressful for your family in Buffalo, David. David, 256 games have been played so far this season in the NFL, 16 left. So let's talk about the NFC East. Who is going to take the top of the NFC East? Is it going to be the Cowboys or the Eagles? The tush push seems unstoppable, but the Eagles seem like they're done.
I think both teams have clinched playoff spots. So right now it's all about who is going to take the division. Mm-hmm. So I think Cowboys will win this. I think all they have to do is beat Washington. I think they can do it. And it would still help the Eagles to get a morale boost at the end of the year and win against the Giants.
What's your score?
I do think that for the Cowboys game, I have Dallas winning by 3, close one, because Washington's still an all-right team, 20-17. And then the Eagles, I have the Eagles winning by a lot, 42-14.
Ooh. Who are they playing?
The Giants.
Yeah, the Eagles are 11-5, Giants are 5-11. So that's the kind of game you'd want to finish on. All right, so the day after the final week of the regular season is Black Monday, and coaches get fired all the time. Who's getting fired?
I know the Bears coach is definitely getting fired. Probably more than one coach on the Bears is getting fired.
Oh, you think Eberflus is out? You think the Flus has flown?
Yes. And probably the offensive coordinator, too.
Getsy?
Yes, Getsy.
Yeah, Luke Getsy, yeah.
I think Belichick won't get fired. Or maybe he'll go to a different team. If it's anything, I think he will leave and not get fired.
You think he'll retire? Is there a chance? I mean, he's an old guy. What's Belichick, Jonathan? Is he 70? I think Belichick's got to be 70.
72.
Yeah. He's 72?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been with the Patriots since 2000, and since then he's only had, I think, 4 or 3 losing seasons, this being one of them. So I think he has a winning formula. They just need to give him time. He doesn't have great players right now.
Just for a little time perspective, what year were you born, David?
2010.
Yeah, you were born in 2010. He had celebrated his 10th anniversary of the Patriots at that point, so maybe it's time to go. How old is too old to coach, David?
I mean, I would say like high 80s.
80? So if you still got to go in high 80s? All right, I like that.
Well,
do you think 62 is old? I'm just curious. Asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, just checking.
That's fine.
Jane?
David, do the Bears? They have the number 1 first-round draft pick. Do they use it for a new quarterback, or do they keep Fields? And does that depend on how he performs in these last couple of games? Because you got to look at the top prospects for coming out of college. There's some good ones out there. What do we do?
I think neither of those. I think we get rid of Fields. I think drafting so-called generational talent is what got the Bears into this. And if they keep looking for that new talent, they're not going to find anything that's going to work for them. There's always going to be that guy that the analysts are just raving about, but that hasn't worked for the Bears. They need to find a guy that's experienced in the NFL, not just in college. So I think they trade for someone or they pick up someone in free agency.
That's a lot of information there.
That was really good, like a Joe Flacco or something like that.
Joe Flacco, I don't know.
Maybe a little better than Joe Flacco.
Joe's doing great.
He is doing great.
He's doing good, but he's still 38.
Yeah. Halfway to 62.
Not much use out of him.
Is 38 old? It's old in football years, right?
Yes, as a player.
What about people years? Is 38 old?
No.
No, not so bad. Not so much.
He's got cousins that are close to 38.
I got pants that are 38. All right,
I really like the rookie player Puka Nacua, and mostly because
that's not a player. That's a cologne.
I love to say his name. What are your thoughts on Puka Nacua?
Well, I think he's probably the best rookie player in like the last decade. He's very good, and he should unanimously win the Rookie of the Year this year.
All right, let's make Aunt Jane explain who Puka Nacua is without Googling it. Go ahead.
Well, he is a great player on one of the teams that live on the West Coast.
And he plays football.
He plays football, and he doesn't look like a football player. He looks like a soccer player because he's small. And he has a great attitude, and he does great running.
What position does he play, David?
He plays wide receiver on the LA Rams.
He's a wide out from the Rams.
I was pretty close. West, and I said he does a lot of running and catching.
I maintain still, Puka Nacua is a cologne.
Puka Nacua.
Yeah. Johnny Depp does the commercial. You know who Johnny Depp is, David?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. One last score, and then we'll let you go for sure. And this can determine a playoff spot. Houston and Indianapolis.
I think Houston wins this one. I think so. If Jacksonville loses, whoever wins this takes their spot.
Right.
I'm going to say Houston wins this 35-28.
35-20. Lots of close games.
Yeah, high scores too this week, David.
Well, David, slap on some Puka Nacua and get to school.
All right, I will.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, David.
That's David Klaus.